Another A24 movie. I always look forward to these. When I saw the trailer for this one, I was like immediately hooked. And I hope this is another one that, as time goes on, people still hopefully enjoy with regards to what A24 can do.
I'll never fall in love, okay?
Love Lies Bleeding was directed by Rose Glass and was a co-writer on the film with Weronika Tofilska. I apologize if I butchered that name. The film stars Kristen Stewart, Katy O'Brien, Jena, Malone, Anna Baryshnikov, Dave Franco, and Ed Harris. According to IMDb's plot synopsis, gym manager Lou falls for Jackie, a bodybuilder who is passing through town en route to a competition in Las Vegas. Like I said at the beginning of this video, A24 is a studio that I have huge respect for. Even if I have some criticisms myself with those movies, I cannot deny they are a studio that I have immense respect for when it comes to at least allowing directors and writers to have the creative vision that they want to make. Whether it's Uncut Gem, The Green Knight, Good Times, Iron Claw, The Lighthouse, The Northman, The Disaster Artist, The Florida Project, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, Ex Machina, Swiss Army Man, The Lobster, The Whale, and Beef are the film/show that I have always enjoyed. Regardless of, even if I have criticisms myself, A24 has earned my respect in that regard, in that they are allowing creative forces to make a film for themselves without having to be constantly breathing down their necks by a huge corporate entity. Well, now I can put Love Lies Bleeding into one of my favorite films from A24. Here are some of the positives that I found with this film. The performances are excellent. Kristen Stewart is just excellent as Lou. Stewart just plays Lou as a damaged and troubled woman who feels stuck in life. She feels as if she's got nowhere else to go, but she's also haunted by things that she has done in her past. When she meets Jackie, she just becomes a very caring and devoted person to being with Jackie by any means necessary. And as the film progresses, I mean, she's literally willing to do anything she can to be with this woman. And it just really shows the determination and just factor of what an actress Kristen Stewart can be. Because I haven't seen much of Kristen Stewart in something. I know she was really good in something like Spencer, the film about Princess Diana. But this is my first time seeing Kristen Stewart in something beyond the eras of Twilight or Snow White and the Huntsman. Like, she really is amazing in this film. And speaking of amazing, Katy O'Brien is just electrifying as Jackie. I have seen Katy O'Brien most recently in stuff like The Mandalorian, and I know she had a little part in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but this is, like, I believe, her, like, big breakout role. O'Brien brings versatility to Jackie, as she's just a really kind, loving person. She can be that to being, like, this unstoppable and tough force of strength. And when I mean that she seems like she's unstoppable or, like, tough as nails, I mean that. What they do with her is just insane. The shit she does in this film, it gets pretty gruesome. At the end of the day, I think both Stewart and O'Brien are fantastic together. As the film progresses, you just witness their love and compassion with one another, that the audience wants them to just be together forever. You really, as this movie goes on, you just grow to love them both and showing how much they really deeply care about each other. And that was just the biggest highlight of this movie that I found enduring. Ed Harris is just terrifying and deadly as Lou Sr., Lou's father. The way Harris comes off as stern and cold with his interaction with Stewart and O'Brien just makes Lou Sr. a terrific antagonist. I think this is one villain that I am going to remember because of how Harris played this character and just those interactions that he has with both Lou and Jackie. Mainly Lou, but just overall his presence is felt throughout this movie. Even though he's not like always in every scene, you just feel his presence, and it's just terrifying. And it's just funny to see Ed Harris just wear like a mullet, like the bottom half, but it just adds to the creepy nature of him. Direction is just stunning. Director Rose Glass just delivers an eerie and thrilling film. With each scene, Glass just builds tension, which allows for the film to be intense. And when I mean she builds it, I mean she really knows how to get the audiences to be disgusted, or rather to be engaged with what this movie is going for. As the thrilling part of the movie keeps on going, you just cannot stop it or like look away from it. It gets you really. At times it makes you feel unsettled, but a lot of times it keeps you really like wondering what's going to happen next. And to see Rose Glass just shine throughout this movie with her direction is, I think, just stunning. Especially with a lot of moments that happened in Lou's life, I thought that was handled really well. The music is both fun and nailed by hand. Composer Clint Mansell provides for an exhilarating and disturbing score that matches with what the film is going for. There's also licensed music which works well into the film. The score here is very eerie and very disturbing on a level of almost being like a psychological thriller. Not just a regular thriller, a psychological thriller, and how it just captures not only a small town, but really like, you know how like movies, whenever it's at night, it just kind of gets that vibe of, especially a small town, that vibe of like there's just a lot of shady people in there. It just really captures that vibe so well. And the licensed music fits well with what the movie's going for, because of course this is in the 80s, but it doesn't feel like it's showboating with the music. It actually just works well with what the movie's going for. It's just natural. The writing is amazing. Writers Glass and Tofilska keep the film engaging with the dialogue. The interactions that characters have in this movie is just intense and also really, really engaging. Whether it's conversations with characters to build tension, the writing just is enthralling. And I mean that. The writing keeps audiences just guessing what is going to happen. Like I said, this movie just, it goes in so many directions that you just don't know where this is going. You just think that this film is insane. And that's what I like about it. Cinematography is gorgeous. Cinematographer Ben Fordensman captures the intensity and eeriness of this really engaging story. The way this film looks, coloring is amazing. It even captures the look of New Mexico. You know, seeing shots just linger on characters is incredible. And it just adds to the dedication of telling story through camera work, through the little subtlety of like looking at a character's face. And I am always appreciative of when a movie does that, when even like just showing character can make somebody be enthralled in what the movie is having to say. The story is exciting. Seeing Lou fall for Jackie and seeing them both try to avoid Lou's father makes for an entertaining and thrilling film. Throughout the movie, the story just keeps the audiences engaging. And I keep repeating that, you guys, because I truly mean that. This movie is exciting to watch. Like, this is a thriller that I feel like not a lot of days happens, like on the level of something like Nightcrawler, where it keeps going with where this movie is. And because it's A24, you definitely don't know where it's going. And that's the beautiness of what the studio can do, is you don't know with what the writers have cooking up with this or with any other movie or show. And that's always the pleasure I have watching these talented filmmakers and writers be given full control. Production is incredible. A24 just always knows when to use their budgets wisely. They usually always have like a very small budget, and this film is no different. From the costumes, props, and just having an amazing crew to set up all these locales and just, you know, sets and all that stuff, it just succeeds. The pacing and runtime is perfect. Each scene just flows amazingly, and I really mean that. It works really well with what the movie is going for. For the runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes, the movie just feels right with that runtime. The film is amazing, but God damn it, I gotta be honest. There's just one issue, one negative I have with this movie. And it's not even necessarily like a negative with this movie, much as I do think that this is kind of my biggest problem I have with A24 as a whole, but it lends to what this movie is. Although I'm never against like weird parts in movies. A24 has a lot of weird endings or weird moments in their movies, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like the weird moment just stands out. You see it in the trailer, it has to involve Jackie getting bigger. When you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And I was fine with it for the moments that it did show it, but then it got to the end, and I just thought that it just kind of went a little overboard. I just feel like A24 just has this habit of having weird moments a lot of the times that just I feel like I sometimes appreciate because sometimes it can work, but I just also feel like they kind of do it because it's just something unique and new. As much as I do think that they allow directors and writers to have full control, I always just feel like that's just always one aspect that I always feel like A24 kind of comes in and says, hey, you gotta have a weird moment. Because you kind of tend to see that, or you just kind of get that vibe of it does start to feel like A24. Because for this movie, it wasn't too much like what A24 does until it gets to like a weird moment, then they gotta throw it in there. And like I said, the film hints at it, but it never got to a moment like this. Like I said, if you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But for me, it just kind of felt like A24 had to come in and say, hey, you gotta put that in there. Or I could be wrong. If that is totally what the writers had in mind, it just doesn't flow well with me. But I just always feel like because it happens a lot in their movies, in shows, I just had to like mention it because it just seems like a thing you kind of start to pick up a lot of the time. Love Lies Bleeding is a thrilling and intense film that adds to A24's collection of films. Boosted by a enthralling story and stellar performances, the movie is excellent. Though its weird moment makes it feel very much like A24, the movie is still a blast. And I really mean that. If you get a chance to see this, please watch it. I think you will enjoy it very much. I'm going to give Love Lies Bleeding a 9 out of 10. I had a fun time with this movie. I'm still kind of thinking about it, and I still think this is probably one of the best movies of the year for me. So I am happy to have seen it and have got to enjoy it. So I will be having my review for the American Society of Magical Negroes soon, and a bunch of other films I gotta catch up on with March, and then hopefully I can get into April. So yeah, look forward to those reviews and other movie TV show reviews coming soon.